In this video, we will look at the Systems Management Agent and how you can use it to manage your devices. We will cover the system requirements for the agent, then we will install the agent and take a look at the information and options available for managing devices in Systems Management. Let's get started. The agent supports Windows 7 and Server 2008 and higher. The agent also supports macOS 12 and higher, as well as several Linux distributions like Ubuntu and Debian. You can install Systems Management into an ESXi hypervisor to monitor the health of the ESXi system. And once installed, agents can even monitor the health of other devices on the network that do not support the agent, like a firewall or printer. We will cover Windows in this video and look at network devices in another video. Please refer to the knowledge base for more information about the other operating systems. So what does the agent do for us? Well, after you install it on the endpoints, the agent reports back to Systems Management and provides data you can use to understand the health of the endpoint and monitor the system status. The agent will also apply policies and jobs to the endpoint when configured. Beyond that, the user can open the agent on their computer to get some basic information about the system and access a few settings. The agent also enables administrators in the account to access the computer remotely. Administrators have two different ways to do this: through a browser session launched from the Systems Management interface, or they can access remote agents through their own agent installed on their computer. Once connected, there are a lot of options available for remotely managing the endpoint, including RDP takeover, PowerShell access, file system and registry access, and more. All the communication between other agents in the cloud is using TCP port 443. Check the knowledge base for more information on the URLs used. And as a reminder, this agent is separate from the agent used for WatchGuard endpoint security. So how do we get started? Well, I am already logged into my Systems Management account, and in the menu on the left, I expanded Devices and selected All Devices. I already have a few agents installed, but I want to install the agent on my computer as well. I'll click Add Device in the top right, and the first thing I need to do is choose the site this device will belong to. After selecting the site, you can see there are options for Windows, macOS, Linux, network devices, printers, and ESXi. There are different ways to install the agent, including sharing a link to others and running a command on the system remotely. After I have an agent running, I can even designate it to do network scanning to look for unmanaged computers and deploy the agent to them remotely. But in this case, I will just download the installer for Windows. Once the installer is downloaded, I simply need to run it, accept the UAC prompt if it appears, and the agent will be installed in the background. The user does not have any visibility into the installation, and after a minute or so, the agent should simply appear in the system tray. As a user, I can launch the agent from the system tray, and it will open some basic details about the system. You can also see a login prompt. Administrators can log in to their own agent installed on their computers in order to connect to and manage all the devices in their account directly from their agent. We'll take a closer look at this later. If I right-click the agent in the system tray, I have access to Privacy Mode. With Privacy Mode enabled, when an administrator attempts to make a remote connection to the computer, the user will be prompted and can accept or deny the connection. With Privacy Mode disabled, the administrator can just connect to the computer without restriction. Privacy Mode can be turned off by a Systems Management policy if you do not want the users to have access to this. There are also some additional settings for the agent to configure proxy servers, settings for the RDP and VNC clients, and some settings for logging and other functions. These are usually used to resolve issues if the agent is not working. If I go back to my list of all devices, you can see my new device has appeared and been added to the site I chose earlier. When I select it, I can see a ton of details about the system. I'll not spend too long here, so pause the video to take a closer look. There is a wealth of information here about the status of my device, like IP addresses, the operating system and hardware, the patching status and alerts, policies, monitors and installed software, and memory and storage information. You can also review the recent administrative activity to see what actions have been taken on the device. And you can see networking information and metrics on system performance as well. At the bottom is a place for custom notes and fields to keep track of specific information about this computer. This is your sandbox to add more details about this device, and you can use the user-defined fields inside of filters to better track and manage your devices. As an example, maybe you always include the department that the device belongs to here. In the top right corner are my options for managing the system. Skipping over the first two for a second, this is where I can start jobs or expand the menu in order to do things like move the device to another site, create a report, send a message to the active user, scan the computer, and even download the agent logs if there is a problem. From the list of devices, I can also select multiple devices at once and expand the menu at the top to take similar actions across all of them. Take some time to explore your own environment in systems management to discover more details about your devices, and refer to our knowledge base for additional help using the information and actions available here. Beyond that, I have the options for remote control. I'll start with Web Remote, which launches a new browser tab and lets me drop into the computer with the control screen or PowerShell. Let's take a look at the control screen for the user that is logged into this computer. Privacy mode is disabled, so right away I can see the screen from the computer, and the user is notified that I am accessing their system. By default, I have control, and I can use my mouse and keyboard in their computer. On the right are the menu options. Starting with display, I can change how I am viewing their screen. I also have an option to chat with the user. After I open up chat, I need to click Chat Invite. Then the user will be prompted to join the chat using a browser in their system. I also have some basic keyboard options like sending a Control-Alt-Delete, and I can even type in my clipboard to paste text. The Quick Launch options let me easily launch important places like the Event Viewer, PowerShell, Services, and the Task Manager. Below that, I can send and receive files and reboot the system. Performance and connection includes graphs I can use to see if the system is under load and the health of my connection to it. Finally, under Preferences are some settings I can configure for the remote session. This is where I can enter view-only mode to not disrupt the user or change the quality. All these tools combine to provide a simple and powerful management console that you can easily use to help the user with any problems they are having. The great thing about using the Web Remote Console is since you access it in your browser, you can use it from any computer. If I go back to Systems Management, I also have an option for the Agent Browser. This will automatically log in as my administrator to the agent installed on my computer, then initiates a connection to the agent on the remote computer. This works as long as I have the agent installed on my computer, and it is installed in the same account as the remote agent. This is the same view I get if I were to just open the agent up and log in without going through Systems Management. From here, I can see basic system information about the computer and have some administrative controls on the left. From the top, I can see a screenshot of the desktop with the CPU and memory usage next to it. Below that are the controls to manage the computer. This enables me to do things like open the file system and download or upload files to the computer. I can open the Task Manager and see all the running processes and kill things if needed. And I can open the Event Viewer and check out the recent events to troubleshoot an issue. These all open separate tabs across the top that I can navigate between. I also have options for taking screenshots, managing services, running jobs, and restarting the system, among others. Near the bottom is the chat, where you can send messages to the computer. In this mode, the messages are sent via the agent and will pop up in a window on the desktop for the user. Finally are the controls for remotely controlling the computer: VNC, RDP, and the command line. VNC is great when you want to jump in with the user and assist them. You can both be in the same session. RDP, however, will log the connected user out and log you in by yourself. This is useful when you need to take over and make a change without the user's help. The command line lets you use PowerShell, which is useful when you don't want to disturb the user and can take some actions behind the scenes. At the very bottom is the search. If you want, you can use this to navigate and connect to other devices in the account without going back to systems management. For example, I can leave the search field blank and search. Then I just need to expand the site and select the computer I want. After this connects me, I can open it up in the top left to manage it. The Agent Browser is another great way to manage the computers and includes some more features over the web remote console. The only drawback is the agent must be installed on your computer using the same account, so you may not always have access to this depending on the computer you are using. That will do it for managing devices and systems management. In this video, we learned how to get started installing the agent in your environment. Then we looked at the information and actions available in systems management, as well as the tools for managing computers remotely using the web remote console and Agent Browser.